down in child's pose. And listen, if child's pose doesn't feel good, you are welcome to start on your back or whatever feels good for you, okay? But we're taking our knees wide, bringing our big toes together, and just allowing the torso to drop through. Push the hips back toward the heels and breathe. So focus on your breath. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and audibly sigh. We're going to do that again. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and audibly sigh. Oh, make sure you start your watches if you haven't started your watch for yoga. All right? Come into a natural rhythm of breath. Do a couple things. Make sure that your jaw is not clenched. Make sure that you are focused on letting the body just be present in this moment. So if your brain is littered with a lot of stuff, I want you to kind of just acknowledge that and then redirect all of your focus to your breath so that you can teach yourself to be present just right now so that we can bring our bodies into this moment. And then I want you to think about your intentions for the workout this morning. Like, what do you want out of today's workout? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to feel more flexible? Do you want your back to feel better? Do you want your legs to feel better, your hips? Whatever it is that you want out of today's workout, that's what we're going to make it, okay? Take one more big breath in and out. And then we're going to push up to our hands and our knees. You want to make sure that your wrists are, underneath your shoulders and that your knees are underneath your hips. So you don't want to be like this. Does that make sense? And then what we're going to do is on cat, the tops of the toes are down. You're going to tuck the chin, round the back up, really separate the shoulder blades, get to a full extension there. And then on cow, I want you to curl the toes under, just for ankle mobility and stretch. Tip the tailbone, tip the head up. Take a breath in here, and a breath out with cow. Now listen to your breath, and you move with your breath. Breath in to cow, breath out to cat. For the record, I did try to put a mic on this morning and I could not figure out how to do it effectively. So Jennifer, I tried to get you. And if that's you, I can't really see the Facebook ones. So sorry, I know someone's commented. Let's do one more breath in and out. Come into a neutral spine. I want you to look over your right shoulder. We're just stretching out the neck. Look over the left shoulder. We're going to push back to child's pose just one more time. Giving the wrists a little bit of a rest, so roll them out. And at any point in time, if it feels like it's a little rough in your wrist, you can always roll them out. It's good for your wrists. We need the wrists to be strong, so this creates bone density, but I get it. Tendons and whatnot. Coming back up, walk hands forward of your shoulders, so a little bit forward. Roll the toes under, drive the hips up. Keeping feet about hip distance, maybe slightly wider, and we're up in a down dog. Take a big breath in. If this does not serve you well, you go back to that child pose. on the mat. Sliding forward. All right, we're gonna walk forward to a fold. So in a fold, we are trying to get our chest in contact with our thighs. So in order to do that, you have to bend your knees a little bit. And then this is a spinal extension here. Yoga to me is all about spinal alignment, which is really important. That's where our flow to heal our whole body comes from, right? Keep things running and keep things going. So the head dangles and we breathe. We're gonna roll all the way up. Bring the arms up above the head. We're gonna clasp and bring index fingers up. Pull the biceps beside the ears, step feet close. Take a breath in, and as you do, lean to the right. Lean to the left. Squeeze up and back. Bring hands behind. We're going to try to bring palms together. Drop the hands below the line of the glutes. Good. Take a big breath up. Bring the arms up. And actually try to see. Didn't hear Jennifer come. I'm going to scoot this back just a touch. Kiera is here. Good morning, Kiera. I'm glad you are here. We're going to lean to the right and step on my remote. Better, right? There we go. Lean to the left. Squeeze up and back, breathe in. Breathe out, fold. Remember our rule is fold. Soft knees. Bring hands to shins, extend. Breathe out, fold. Big inhale up. Lean right. Lean left. Squeeze up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Extension. Fold. Step it back to plank. Running through some sun salutations. I'm going to show you the easy version first. We're going to drop the knees. We're going to come down. We're bringing our elbows right next to our body. You're bringing your chest down and not your booty. So that should not happen. This is what happens. And then from here, we're going to press up. Now from here, you can go into down dog or you can go back into child's pose, okay? Shoot up and back. Breathe and stay. Forward to fold, just walk forward. Find that extension. Breathe up. Breathe out, coming right back down. Extension. And fold. Plank. Toes or knees. I'm still very much on my knees this week. Coming down through. Press up. Breathe. Push back. So in a full up dog, your knees are off the floor and you're pressing your feet to the ground. Mine's more like a cobra today. You feel free to press up where you need to be. Walk forward to fold. Breath in and out. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold. Extension. Breath in. Breath out, fold. Step back to plank. Coming down through. Press up. Push back. Taking a breath in and out, forward and fold. Even if everything felt pretty stiff, it should be starting to feel pretty good now. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold. Extension. Hold. Step back to plank. Coming down through. Press. Push back. Stay and breathe. Breath in and out as you walk to fold. Big inhale up. We've got 2 more of these to do. Exhale, fold. Extension. Fold. Plank. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Stay and breathe. This time I want you to bring your toes toward each other like pigeon toes. We breathe. Stretch on the other side of the legs. More breath. Walk into fold. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold. Extension. Fold. Last one. Plank. Coming down through. Oh, I was doing what my toes did. Ignore the pigeons. Push back. My body's like, what to do, Danya? Walking forward to fold. Gonna scoot this guy. Big inhale up. We're gonna bring the inside to center. So what I want you to do is bring your block or your cylinder to the front of your mat. My block has been eaten by some creature in my house. So I'm gonna use it for block opening. But my cylinder's a little bit more stable, so I'm going to use it today for what we're using it for. I want you to step your leg back. So this is my right leg. If you're mirroring me, this may be your right leg and this may be your left leg, and that's fine. I don't actually know. I don't remember with Zoom how it works. Just make sure you're stepped into a warrior 2. So hips and shoulders are facing the wide side of your mat. The front side of the toes is aimed. Make sure they're not angled. They're aimed toward the short side of the mat. This foot angles. Some people feel better with more of an angle. I feel better in warrior 2, a little bit more straight on toward the long side of the mat with my toes. We're up, shoulder height. Drive toward the toes with your front knee, and then kick the outside of the knee back towards your baby toes, and you should feel all 4 quads fire. Yeah? Looking over that front hand and breathe. Long, even breaths. All right, we're gonna extend forward. As we do, we're keeping this stance. This stance does not change. Then we're gonna bring forearm to thigh, reach up and over. What I'm trying to do is create this perfect line from these fingers down to that ankle. So if your hips poked out, drive that front knee forward again. Drive the outside of the knee toward the baby toe. Make sure we're not putting a whole lot of weight on this arm. It's all about the core. And then rotate the rib cage up. And we're breathing. And we're not clenching our jaw, even if it's hard. One more breath. Press up and back to reverse. You stay here. I'm going to show you what I want you to do. We still have our foundation. We're drive forward, drive the knee back. We're here in that stance. This front leg is working harder. It should be. Out of that, eyeball your block, your couch, your chair, whatever you have at home here, yeah? We're coming up and we're gonna lift the back leg. Just a little bit of a balance challenge and some core strength. Play with it. You may stumble around and guess what? You're at home. Nobody can see you, not even me. Just don't fall. One more breath here. Coming back into that reverse. Set our foundation, our stance. We're coming down into a triangle right here. I'm actually going to use my cylinder. This is definitely one of my core needs a little bit of support for right now. It's a little weak because of surgery. You look up or look down. Do what's the best for you. The big thing to remember with this is, I don't know if I'm the only one, my big toe has a tendency to pop up on this foot. Push it down. You're not trying to hyperextend this leg. It's soft but straight. And it's like you're trying to take this top butt cheek and push it onto the wall at the short side of your mat. So hip shift back, and we're breathing. Soften your knee. Coming up. Either pivot your feet or switch the front foot depending on how you're standing with your mat. We're bringing our block back to the front of our mat. Setting up a warrior two. So toes are aimed at the short side of your mat. We've got this set of toes pointed forward. Butt cheek squeezed. Drive. Drive. Tall through the neck. Breathe and stay. All the pretty views out my windows this morning. Cocooned at home doing yoga in the snow with all of you. I can ask for a better way to start a Saturday. That shift, remember we're keeping our foundation. Forearm to thigh for balance and support. Reaching up and over, check that hip, everything's forward. We're trying to create this perfect line. If I was to put a piece of paper up next to you, it would line up. Rotate. Breathe. Drive the outside of the knee toward the baby toe. Remember all the things. Not a whole lot of weight on this arm. Up and back. Reverse. Drive. Drive. Breathe. I'm sure you guys look amazing. All right, we're going to soften. Finding our balance helper here. Coming up into the balance. One side may be a little easier than the other. Setting up that reverse, I'm just bringing my block with. Straightening, coming down, setting up triangle. So a lot of people think triangle is all about getting low. It's not. This is a back alignment pose is what I would call it. I don't know that that's technically called that, but it helps align your hips, just your pelvis, the low back. You feel pops sometimes. This is not hyperextended, it's soft. And we're taking this and we're pushing it onto the wall at the short side of the mat. And we're breathing. Soften the front knee. Coming up to stand. So listen, if you struggle with balance, there's no shame in the game. Have a chair handy, have a wall handy, have something handy to help you. Because regardless of what people think, falling is not going to help you. Figuring out how to stabilize with a prop to help you balance is going to help you the most. We're going to switch back to that other leg, not the leg that we were just doing warrior in, okay? We're going to go into tree. So with tree, you can kickstand, which I might very likely end up on the side as, or you can go below the knee, or you can hook it above the knee, but do not put any direct pressure on the knee. The knees are movable joints, and we ain't trying to push our knee off our body. That's a whole nother different doctor visit. Hands to heart center. And then check this hip, just trying to go out. Pull it in, squeeze, press like monkey toes, tall. We're going to slowly open the arms. You stay here. When we come up overhead, we're going to be bringing index fingers together and bringing them overhead like that. I'm going to have to go down to a kickstand here. Still just not strong. Coming up. This is my first Saturday yoga class in 7 weeks. So I think this is pretty dang good considering I just had a hysterectomy. And we're breathing and holding. Fall through the neck. All good things, baby. What doesn't kill you makes for a great story. Slowly find center. And let's shake that leg out. Give it a good little shake. Not like a hard, crazy shake, but a gentle shake. And then we're switching. We kickstand. We go below the knee, we go above the knee. If the hips is trying to do that, pulling it in, squeezy squeeze, monkey toes, breathe and stay. It's always good to find something on the horizon to focus on. Scratching your head is optional. Opening the arms. Just inviting the day. Whether you're in a beautiful sunny location or you're snowed in like me, just inviting all the possibilities today. Remember that index finger hold, we're going up. They can't necessarily see me on Zoom, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm coaching that. And you can start center and bringing both feet down. Give this leg a little gentle shake. Don't kill it, just give it a shaky shake. We're going to lift our heels and reach up and back. See if you can take your eyes up. If that gives you vertigo, just don't look up, look forward. Make sure you're respecting your body. Meet it where it's at. Heels down. Have a seat. If you need a sip of water, now's a great time to grab it. So you may need some of your little tools around you. So I would grab whatever you've got handy, pillows and whatnot. We're gonna stack in a fire log. So this is my left leg. To you, if you mirror it, it might be a right. I can tell I'm two different ways on both screens. So what I want you to do is whichever leg is on top, you're gonna flex the toes toward the knee. Now here's our rule of thumb. If you do this and you're like that, that defeats the purpose. Drop that down in front and start there. If you don't feel a stretch here, you're just encouraging the joint and the tendons around the joint for some stretch here. So do your level. We want our sits bones down, not up, and we don't want your spine wonky, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're coming forward. If your left leg's on top, you'll feel a big stretch through the left butt cheek, left hip, potentially left inner thigh. If it's the right leg, it'll be the right leg. If you are sore through your lower back, we'll feel this in your lower back, and that's normal, okay? Deep breaths. You guys see my dog back there? She's got her blankie. She's all covered up with her blankie. By far the stinkiest blankie in the house. All right, we're gonna push up to our hands. So if you've got your right leg on top, we're thinking right leg. If you've got your left leg on top, we're thinking left leg. So everything's gonna start to whichever direction you have a top leg for. So we're gonna bring our block to that side. I still have to be careful about how much torquing I'm doing. So normally I can go all the way down to the floor. Right now I can't. I'm respecting my body where it's at, and I'm expecting you to do the same. We're gonna C-shape this way. So you're coming down. Sits bones stay down. Anytime you do anything seated, sits bones stay down. We're C-shaping the spine. Once you get into a pretty good stretch, you should feel it in the top of the opposite hip and maybe the back. We're stretching all of that out. And then rotate rib cage up. And breathe. Coming up, we're going to switch sides. I'm going to take my groovy block with. Just try not to hyperextend some of the tendons that have gotten tight in 7 weeks. Breathe and reach. Once you get there, rotate up. Things be popping over her. I don't know about y'all. Popping nitrogen and getting it out of the body. Let's breathe and make oxygen flow. Go. This top leg, so for me it's a left leg, for you it may be a right leg. We're going to take it back behind us, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to set it up. So we can mermaid, which is also a 90-90 with the knees, and come down here. If you can, we're kind of rolling onto the top of the knees, coming on all 5 toenails. I'm showing you that from the front for a couple of reasons. We want to edge this knee a little bit outside the line. There are many times I see people take this foot and move it forward. Don't do that. Your body and your front knee have told you where they need to be. Now we're going to work with that. Okay, we don't want to hyperextend that joint up there. It's hanging out here, dropping down. Do you see how my knee is outside the line of my body? Okay, now I'm going to show you from the side really quick, okay? So we're here, all 5 toenails down right behind my water bottle. And then I want you to take your toes, curl them under, and we're going to walk that knee back and get a little bit more stretch. That's the proper way to extend this position, no matter what anybody tells you. You can really create a lot of pain up in your hip and knee if you are not careful with how you try to, especially early in the morning like this. Things are tight, right? Great big breathing here. you should feel, so this is my right leg forward, so it's my right butt cheek. In your front leg, you should feel the butt cheek stretching a lot, potentially the inner thigh if it's really tight. And then if your hip flexors are really tight, it's the back leg you'll feel it on. But we're focused. We are not clenching our jaw, okay? We're breathing. We're going to take one more big breath in and out. Press up to the hands. I want you to lift your chest up. I want you to walk your hands behind the line of this front knee. So we're taking them and moving them back. Use the hands to drive the torso up. You will feel a big stretch through the hip flexor here. And then see if you can take your eyes up and breathe. Coming out of it, we're going to take this leg out to the side. So whichever side, doesn't matter which side. I'm utilizing a block to show you how you can get a little bit deeper into this. You would want to just stick it on the inside of that, the leg that was back, you brought out to the side. We're sticking a block inside and then laying the back of the hand and reaching up and over. Kind of where I'm going to hang out today, that you can come, actually I may come down, feel pretty good. Coming down inside as well. We're trying to create a pocket for this shoulder to drop forward and through. And then we're C-shaping our spine again. So if it feels like, oh God, I'm so tight, you're working on this level here and reaching up and over. You don't always have to push. That's the thing, you guys, with yoga especially. Take the time to listen to your body. You ignore it all the time. Like, shut up, body, you're fine, right? Not today. Today you're like, body's like, this doesn't feel good, then don't do it. The other thing you might be noticing is this bottom knee might be starting to be like, hey, I've been bent a long time. You can tuck another block under it. You can tuck your cushion under it. And that's going to take some pressure off of it. Okay? So just be mindful of where you're at. Take one more breath in and out. We're going to turn toward this leg with our torso, our chest. If you can't quite get there, you might need to walk the hip back a little bit. Reaching out for the foot. If you can't get to the foot, that's okay. You get where you go. If you're here, yay. Celebrate it. I'm always telling my clients, celebrate that shit. You got to celebrate your small wins, because what gets celebrated gets repeated, and you get better and better and better and better and better. Coming up out of that, we're going to just take legs wide for a moment. More than anything, we're just trying to bounce, and give the legs a little rub all the way down. And then we're going to switch the top leg. So creating that fire lock. Now listen, I've torn both my meniscus. This one was a really bad tear, so you'll see it just doesn't have the flexibility. So listen to your body. My sits bones are there, so we're good there. Take a big breath up. Breathe out. Find your best place. Relax the jaw. Hopefully your family's asleep like mine is, and you're getting a little bit of quiet time to yourself right now, which is so important. But if they're being chaotic around you, invite them to join us. Like, hey, Coach D wants you to do yoga with me. Up. we're going to make that pattern going toward our top leg first. C-shape the spine. It's been interesting coming back into yoga this week. I would have thought, oh, my back would be sore, my abs sore, my legs sore, my shoulders. They got so much rigidity during not doing yoga for 7 weeks, and so they're pretty ouchy. Just lack of mobility. And I worked them out, but I didn't do any kind of yoga. All right, coming up, we're gonna take ourselves to the other side. Use what you need. Taking our top leg back into pigeon. Make sure that whichever, if you got confused in the process, just switch legs. You only have 2, thank God, right? If we were octopus, or octopi. I didn't even know how to say that right. We would be totally screwed. All right, remember your options of 90-90. We're taking this knee and inching it outside the line of our hip bone, or the outside of our mat. Stretching through that butt cheek. And then remember how I curled my toes under? We're gonna walk that knee back. We are breathing and holding. Just super long stretches this morning. The beautiful part of your yoga instructor recovering from surgery, you get an awesome stretchy class instead of like, let's destroy your abs and make you be like. Although we did do that Thursday, my abs are definitely sore. But it's a snowy, beautiful morning, and I just want to embrace the season. I've learned that if you embrace the season you're in, you get less backlash of depression. For me, anyway. Just embrace it. Not like you can make it go away by pouting about it, or that's how I started seeing it. I'm not saying you, but for me, it's like, you can pout all day, Danya, it's still not gonna go away. Mine help it. All right, coming back, we're walking behind the line of that knee. Press up. Breathe into that, my dear. Big stretch. You should feel that. You'll feel it where you're tight. So this area here after surgery is super tight on me. I don't know if they just have my leg in a weird way. Let's take one more breath together, you guys, right here. Take this leg out to the side. Beautiful. So remember your options. I'm gonna actually start here and see how we feel. This side is just a little ouchier. I've got one incision that really tugs. Reaching up and over. Remember what we're trying to do. Pulling off my mat. We're trying to create this pocket for the shoulder to drop through. So if your shoulder's way back behind, think about rotating the torso forward so that we can really stretch things out. This helps stretch our lats out. This is so good for your spine. Sits bones are on the ground. Our breath is moving, so we're oxygenating everything. We're encouraging flow. We're encouraging healing. Your body was designed to heal, but you have to know how to really engage that. You have to know how to really lock into that and join that party instead of fighting against it, right? Breath is the key. Find your space. A lot of people will say to me, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga, and it makes me want to like karate kick them in the eye. Turn forward. You don't have to be flexible to do yoga. That's like saying I can't lift weights because I'm not strong. Whack. Turn toward the thigh, bring chest down. Take legs wide. And we're going to walk out to where you can get. So if that's here, that's fine. If you can't even get here, bring a helper. A chair in front of you is also appropriate. You're not teaching, so you can put whatever you want in front of you, right? But we're trying to drive the elbows down, whichever one you get to. Use the elbows to pull the chest forward and lift the chest up. Try not to be all tucked in and weird. Lift the chest up. Your toes should be up toward the ceiling, not pointed forward and down, which happens a lot if your adductors are super tight. That's your inner thigh. And we're breathing. Breathing. We're embracing. It's all good things. I'm going to give you guys a funny heads up. So my Roomba is scheduled, right? He's Mr. Belvedere. He's right there. And so I'm going to actually holler at my husband to come get him and have him go vacuum downstairs first. Hey, Dave, will you come get Mr. Belvedere? And because he's going to go off at 9 o'clock and I want him to vacuum downstairs. And then that way he doesn't bother us. Take one more big breath in and out. Coming up out of that. It's funny how that happens, like the longer that you sit in it, right? If you ever want to build that up, the way that I did it, because that was probably my least flexible body part, you'll stack a bunch of pillows. You guys wave hi to Dave. Wave Dave.
Hi, guys.
My cutie pie. Stack the pillows, and then just, as you're here, watch TV. I mean, give yourself like 20 minutes. Take a pillow out. Because you know what's always faithful? Gravity. All right, bring your feet together. And we're just going to think about pulling the belly button toward the feet. So whatever that looks like for you. And we're stretching the other side of the hips. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If your jaw is clenching, undo it, okay? If you're like, my God, how does she know? Because you're not alone. Everybody, on here is like, so stop it. That's just life. Stressful day, clench. Mad at my husband, clench. Stupid cat pooped on the floor, clench. Stupid cat pooped on the floor, clench. That's what we do all day long. Not because I'm magical, because I clench. All right, coming up. We're going to come down to our tummies. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to stack one hand on top of the other and rest our forehead on our hands. Now listen, if your low back has been hurting, you might try to fight this position. I want you to release that. What we're doing is letting blood flow toward the other side of your body now. We're going to be laying on our back in a minute. We're flowing forward. We've flowed down. Now we're flowing forward, and then we're going to be flipping over and let everything flow back. So think about it being like a cleanse, okay? So rest, relax your glutes. Relax your glutes. Focus on your breath. Can you relax a little bit more? Can you relax your jaw? Where can you let go? We've got one little stretch we're going to do here called a Sphinx pose. You're going to bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. And I want you to drive your elbows down, and as you do, lift your chest up. Try to grow tall to the top of your head. So think tall and up. And it's almost like you're using the elbows to leverage your torso up and forward, and you're breathing. You should full stretch through the front abdominal region. This is going to help us not have as much back pain, because everything, we're going the opposite direction and helping posture, not creating more bad posture. One more breath in and out. We're not going to stay here super long. This is the only one that really irritates my abdominal stuff. We're going to push back into child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. It should feel better than it did when we started. All right, you need your block. If you don't have a block, go grab a towel really quick and roll it up. Or if you have a foam roller, you can use that as well. I personally like the blocks. They're just a little easier. So we're going to do what's called block opening. We constantly go forward, and our spines are designed to be really flexible. And as we age, they get more and more rigid. So what we're trying to do is open up the other direction. So rule of thumb, with all things yoga, if you don't like it, don't do it. Because first of all, you own your body, and you don't have to do anything I tell you to do, right? You a big grown woman. You a grown-ass woman, right? So that is first. Second of all, if it's too intense for you, just try it again another time. Go ahead and put this block about a hand width back behind you, okay? Make sure it's lined up with the edge of your mat so that it has good alignment. And then we're literally just going to lay across it. What's going to happen is it's going to put a little bit of pressure on the pelvic, that low back area, and just going to help drive and lengthen and strengthen. And you might feel what would be the same thing as a chiropractic adjustment. Just some alignment happens. So you might feel pop, pop, pop. You might feel some relief. Don't hold your breath. Don't clench your jaw. See what you can relax here. Let gravity do its thing. Gravity is always faithful. But again, if you hate it, just jump off of it. We're going to move it up in just a minute. This one is intense. And if you've not been doing yoga with me, I know we're out of practice, guys. This one's tough to come back to, but I discovered block opening years ago after I was having some back issues, and it was a lifesaver. So much of what happens to us is our alignment, not just with our spines, but just with how we hold ourselves, how we sit, how we stand. And if you don't do opposing things, nothing will ever get better, right? But you also know your limits super gracefully, because there's no other way but gracefully to come up off that. Just kidding. You don't have to be graceful. We're going to take this sucker and move it up to our upper back now. So think right between the shoulder blades. Check the side of the block if it's twisted. Line it up with the side of your mat. Now we've got some really good alignment. And then we're just laying across the block. It'll be right between your shoulder blades. On this one, we're taking arms up overhead. And I want you to clasp hands and bring index fingers just like we did for yoga. And we're going to let gravity do its thing. The beautiful part about this position is lungs are super open here. And in Tennessee, we are really close to sea level. You probably are, some of you guys are in Texas that are on here. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of this and really expanding and filling up the lungs. The lungs need exercise. They need, in order to cleanse the air that's in them, you got to breathe deep. So we're going to focus on deep, deep breaths here. We're hanging out for about 10 breaths. Got one more breath, guys. And then we are going to come up and lay on our back, bring the block out from under. You probably can already tell a world of difference in how much better your back feels. You guys feel that? Hopefully you're good. Bend your knees. Keep your feet flat. We're going to lift our hips and stick the block up under our back. Our hips are fully supported on the block here. And just let stretch happen. Don't do anything else for just a moment. Just let stretch happen. There are all kinds of little muscles in and around the pelvis that help walk you around and get you in and out of chairs and help you roll over a bed. And we just kind of ignore them and assume that they are okay, right? We're just going to try to let stretch happen. If it feels good, rock the knees a little bit side to side. If that doesn't feel good, don't do that. We're going to stretch a little muscle in your hip called the psoas. We're going to hug the left knee in. And as you do, just tug it in nice and close. We're going to let the right leg go out straight and rest on the floor. And you will feel a big stretch through the hip area. Focus on your breath. This is a magical stretch if you're having low back pain, and I just assume a lot of us are having some low back pain with these weather changes. Well, listen, if you guys do like this class, I do teach it every Saturday. It is available on Zoom, or if you're local to Oak Ridge, it's at 8 a.m. every Saturday at Creative Edge Dance Studio, which is at 297 Oak Ridge Turnpike, Suite 100. You can join us, or you can pay and join us via Zoom. All right, we're going to switch legs. I keep buying mic after mic after mic, so I should be able to, at some point in time, something, either cords from one mic will work with another mic, and I'll be able to mic into these as well. The new computer is what has me kind of like, because I bought a brand new computer that only has C ports. And so mics they just don't have them, so I always have to go find an adapter. Just letting that stretch out. Life is all about balance. You got to balance the sides of your body out. You got to balance the sides of your brain. All right, we're going to go into feet up the wall. From here, this is a little bit easier to do with your hips elevated. You're actually up next to a wall. It's a little bit complicated. Not only that, once you get into it, it's like, how the heck do I get out of this? So this is just an alternative. And what we're going to do here is we're going to roll. We're going to encourage flow and length to move by just rolling our ankles out one direction and then change directions and then rest. Just kind of let that tingle sensation roll. Breathe with me. And then bring feet to the ground. We're going to lift our hips up, come off the block, and we're going to set up for our meditation position, okay? So take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and audibly sigh. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and audibly sigh. Make sure you find a position that feels good for you. Once you get on your back, if that starts to not feel good, don't feel trapped there. You can always change positions. Just make sure your eyes are closed, relax your jaw, and we're going to focus on our breath. We're going to do some box breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 4 counts. We're going to breathe out. Sorry, the music, I did not like jazzy, fancy music there. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and hold for 4 counts, all right? So let's do that together. So breath in, 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2, breathe out, 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2, breathe out, 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2. One more time for a 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2, breathe out, 4, 3, 2, hold, 4, 3, 2. Resuming natural rhythm of breath. Softening through the jaw, relaxing down the neck. Think about widening and flattening the shoulder blades to the floor if you're on your back. Take a big deep breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to relax all the muscles down either side of the spine. Let your hips become heavy. Relax down our legs, relax down our arms. Just one more time. Think about the jaw. Make sure we're not trying to clench it. And then I want you to soften through all of the lines of expression on your face. And then focus on your breath. Let your in-breath feel really light, really lifted. And let your out-breath feel heavy, sinking, grounded. Breathe in light. Breathe out, heavy. Go ahead and bring some small movement through fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up over your head, and as you do, I want you to take a deep breath in. And then we are going to curl up in fetal position on the right side of our body, away from our heart. Take a couple of breaths there. And then just gently make your way into a seated position. Once you're in a seated position, just let your hands find your knees, palms open. Close your eyes. We're going to just breathe in and welcome all the possibilities of the day. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh. Let's do that again. Breath in and sigh. Go ahead and open the eyes. Breathe up. Let your hands find heart center. Namaste.